We sat quietly in our office, still lamenting the fact that the end of our shift was still 6 hours away. Tendrils happily typing away at my desktop, but letting out a disappointed sigh at the feeling of an empty teacup. My human colleague on the opposite end of the room was carefully using his predator's gaze to scour reports, his left hand impatiently tapping on the metallic surface of his desk. It was quiet, save for the occasional fidget, impatient tap, or the sound of the clock ticking away on the wall. "Hey, Thrag." "Yes, human friend Marcus," I replied as he suddenly broke the calm. "Just Marcus. I ever tell you about what happened to a buddy of mine in school?" He looked up from his work at me. "Ooh, is this the one about the cheerleader who sprained her leg when she fell from the pyramid?" I asked. "When she fell onto me and broke 6 of my ribs?" "No, not that one." "Is it the one about the dog animal thing you humans have? That one where a dog show held in the school escaped their cages and went on a fluffiness rampage?" I was curious now. I always was with the humans' stories. I loved listening to the odd things humans did. No, this is a new one. I haven't told you this one yet," he said and carefully typed away at his keyboard. "Ooh, do tell. I'm gonna guess though, was it a science experiment gone wrong and half the school blew up? Or was it a bunch of guys from the football team on their last day choosing to use the school as a paintball arena? Or was it when a student got caught, whatever that means, in an odd place?" I got up from my seat and excitedly approached his desk. "No, that first one didn't happen. And no, but that story did happen. I'll tell you that one another day. And there are too many of those caught stories to tell, so I'm not going to bother with those. No, this one's different." He completed his task and redirected his attention to me again. "Ooh, oh my, it sounds serious." I sat down, resting my thorax on the soft carpet. "Yeah, it is. It's when a buddy of mine in math class snapped and ate a demon's face," he said with a strange and disconcerting smile. A moment of awkward silence followed. Several seconds of just the sound of the ticking clock. I became so tense that I suddenly forgot to breathe. "Wait, what?" He snapped. He completely snapped. He was stressed. He was angry. Life just finally went too far and he snapped, he said, and his smile slowly disappeared. "Snapped? Like humans spontaneously snap themselves in half? That's horrible." My shock was horrific. Images of humans suddenly losing it and just snapping themselves in half and walking around like crablings. It was spontaneously funny and scary at the same time. No, not like that. It's a psychological thing. Life has a way of taking us too far sometimes. There's this old saying about staring into the abyss and it's staring back. It's when a human is driven to the brink of madness by life and its way of living. I sat there, unable to comprehend. I tilted my head to the side in confusion. You know small things, right? Being unable to find your keys, being dragged out of bed because some idiot forgot to turn his car alarm off, waking up in the morning being thankful it's a Sunday, then realizing you're late for work because it's not Sunday, it's Monday. Those little things that make you angry or annoyed. Those things. Ooh, okay. Small things can make a human snap? Sometimes. It's the bigger things that drive people to the brink. It's the small things that usually make them jump. So anyway, my buddy is in class, right? We're just sitting there and I notice he's having issues with some of his work. Pens and pencils not working, eraser not erasing. You know, the silly stuff that just annoys us. "Go on," I said, following what was going on. Turns out he just has other stuff going. Family going through divorce, his grades slipping because of the situation, a bully in the school making his life hell. You know, those big things. He began to explain, using his hands in the way that humans do to better convey points. So what happened was his pencil end snapped for like the 20th time. He sharpened it again, then it snapped again. He finally had enough, so to speak, and threw the pencil at the front of the class. Face turned red. He rammed his hands into the desk. Pure, unadulterated rage and frustration. Just pure rage. Then suddenly some creature appeared in the class. It was a demon. Red skin, horrible wings, horns. Looked like a goblin kind of thing, but with horns and red skin. Like the ones I showed you in that comic book I gave you last week? Ooh, those things. That's odd, I said, recalling the peculiar sight of humans' fantasy creatures and monsters. So this demon appears. Far as I knew, the sheer rage and unbridled hatred made this guy manifest in the class. My buddy jumped at him and slammed him in the wall, then began beating the absolute tar out of the demon. I blinked. I didn't even know I could blink, but I blinked. His first instinct was to attack? A demon, a spawn of the underworld, and a human's first instinct is to attack? Oh, okay then. By this point, the class erupts into chaos, right? 2 reasons. First, some kid has completely lost it and he's going crazy. The second reason was that demons are real, and there's one right there getting torn apart by the crazy kid. So chairs are flying, tables turning, teacher going to security to call the cops. You know, chaos. Marcus flailed his arms about to further convey the scene of chaos I was picturing in my head. Oh my. My carapace shook a bit out of fear. So the crazy kid is beating on this demon who is flailing around. But it's a demon, you know it. It can't do much beyond a gentle thud. The kid realizes this, so just like that he starts chewing on the demon's face. What? I shrieked, half in terror, half in shock. Yeah, just like that. Just after the demon kind beat him back with the whole pfft, insolent whelp thing demons do. The kid just pounced on him, bit down and took a chunk of his face off, then just went to fragging town on him. It was now the demon started to actually feel pain and noticed he was losing. I sat in silence. So the demon starts shrieking for help. A demon starts begging for help. He was like, "Help! Help me! Hez eating my face! Hez eating my face!" And nobody can't do anything because everyone's just in shock. The kid is now simultaneously chewing on the demon's skin and tearing chunks of it out while pummeling this poor bastard as hard as he can, Marcus said, and mimed out the movements he witnessed that day. I sat in shocked silence. Images of this human teen doing this flashed in my mind. So by now, the demon has had a significant chunk of himself chewed away and the kid grabs him. With one horrible almighty roar, pulls at the demon's skull and with seeming superhuman strength, tears the demon's head clean off. Marcus mimed out the movement again, mimicking the horrible motions of the human tearing a demon's head off. I couldn't talk. This was terrible. So the kid tosses the head aside and returns to his table, calmly returns his desk and chair to their normal position, and sat on his chair thinking for a bit. After a couple minutes, he starts laughing. Like honestly laughing, like he just heard a really, really funny joke. Then he just goes quiet, returns to his schoolwork, and acts like nothing bad happened until the cops come. It was a huge news story back in the day. I sat still in shocked silence. So the whole thing comes out like, holy crap, demons are real and some kid killed one. There was a whole media circus surrounding the incident, and he was mandated to do some therapy and serve time in juvenile hall. I only saw him again last Thursday. He looked good, all things considered. You saw that boy again? I asked, my voice jittery and scared. Yeah, so did you. He was the human with the purple eyes that got that job in accounting last week. Jeff, you met him yesterday. I screamed in terror, then promptly passed out. The lizard-like being dressed like a police officer looked at me with a concerned expression. So, that is all that happened? You told him a story? It was a true story. It even made the news back in the day. I tell him these things all the time. Never had a reaction like that before. Is he going to be okay? I replied, nervously tapping my left foot. The doctors tell me he will be fine. He just needs rest after a nasty shock. The story can't possibly be that bad, though. The cop said and directed us to sit in the waiting room. It's a new story from years ago. I was in the class with a friend of mine when it happened. He recently joined my accounting firm, too. Good to see him. I replied and tried to rest. So what is this news story exactly? The cop asked. Oh, sec. I hurriedly pulled out my tablet and got a link to the relevant news articles and archive. The cop looked at it and read the articles, looking over the videos, his lizard-like facial features losing color and losing life. It was at this moment my old buddy Jeff walked in. Hey dude, what's going on? Thrag is in emergency. Had a bit of a scare, so I'm here until his fam gets here. "Why are you here?" I asked, shaking my purple-eyed friend's hand. "Boss told me to find you. Said to take the rest of the day off. What's up with Thrag, though?" "Oh, hello, officer." Jeff smiled at the policeman and extended a hand in hello. The police officer noted Jeff's purple eyes and the purple eyes of the teenager in a news clip proudly holding aloft a demon's severed head. He screamed in terror, then passed out.